Well, hey everybody! I want to welcome everybody to our Rockstar Recruiting Sprint. What are we on, week 5? Oh my gosh, that means next week the end of this first 6 weeks will be over. I hope you guys are getting a lot of value out of this. I want to just kind of Jennifer Harden did an amazing training on how to invite to events because she has had some pretty big successes. She was at a vendor event this weekend when she did it, and there were a few places where it bleeped out. We're still not quite sure what happened. She was sitting in her car. She had left the mall. They were doing a vendor event at the mall all weekend. And so, first of all, I want to say thank you, Jennifer. But there was one thing that she said that I thought was so important that I decided I was going to, because we thought about her re-recording it, but then you guys had already started commenting on it. And there was just one thing. She was talking about the event that she had 6 or 7 guests at. It was a corporate event about a month and a half ago. But what you missed her say was she invited 123 people because she was saying it's a numbers game. And I don't know if you could see her mouthing it, but I thought those were pretty important numbers to miss. She invited 123 people. 11 people confirmed. And out of 11 people that confirmed, 6 people actually showed up. Guys, those are real numbers. And so I just felt like before we got into this training, I just wanted to share that because, one of the things Shauna's going to talk tonight about is just kind of reiterate everything we've been talking about this whole 5 weeks now. If you are truly engaging, you will see success because, Jennifer used the language of converting those PC, that PC language to business language, which she's really good at, but she went back to her PCs. And Wednesday night, we had a big corporate event in Louisiana, and I went over, and she had 2 of her PCs sitting in the room, and she signed up 2 of her PCs. They're brand new business partners, top 2 kits, and boom, she made her pledge of 2. And so if you didn't listen to that training, please go back and re-listen to it. But when she's talking about the event, she had 6 guests at, and when all of a sudden it just bleeps out, 123 people invited. And you can hear the part where she shares how she invited. And so with that said, I do want to just reiterate, there's a lot going on right now. Don't forget, we extended challenge number 1. Challenge number 1, but this time instead of giving 1 lash boost, we've got several luxury gifts. Guys, this means more than one person will win. That's exciting. So if you're not messaging that out, get busy. And Shauna's going to also be talking about the chicken list, and she's going to tell you some other ways of using that, to use those pre-recorded calls. The pledge of 2. Have you gone and posted and have you made the decision to recruit your 2? Because it starts first with a decision. Make sure you go comment you're in. Because last month, we gave $100 spot card to anyone that signed up their 2 people on one of the top 2 kits. This month, it's still $100, but it's to your favorite store that you enjoy shopping at. So whether or not we just send you a $100 gift card or we send it you in the name of the store that you want to go shopping, I don't know about you, that's pretty exciting. And this is not a drawing. Everybody gets to win. And then also, Laura Jacerta did a post on Lead the Way Malls. And Kristen did the most amazing training on that. And y'all know Laura and Kristen are like the queens of Lead the Way. If there's anybody that can teach those 2, can teach Lead the Way, I can't talk. Lead the Way programs, it's them. If you haven't commented and gone and done your picture, please do. Guys, nobody will earn that without making the decision. And then Lisa did a great training on the art of just icebreakers. So make sure you're getting everything because a lot of the stuff went in on the holiday week of the 4th. And I know many of our people were scattered. We want to make sure everybody's getting everything out of this event. And so with that, I want to introduce my personal partner. You guys, she is one of the best at talking to and reaching out to Chicken List. This girl, I have watched her reach out just randomly to people that I'm like, oh my God, I can't even believe you had the guts to do that. And her attitude is, what's the worst they can say? No. And she's like, because you know what? If you don't do it, it is a no. If you don't ask, it's always a no. And so I am going to introduce Shauna Whitsitt, and she's Lexus Achiever, and she is going to share with you why you don't want to stay idle when it comes to that Chicken List, those people that scare you to death to reach out to, why you need to reach out to them, and how to reach out to them. So Shauna, make sure you're unmuted. I'm going to introduce you to one of my best, dearest friends, Shauna Whitsitt. I'm going to mute out, girl.
And can you hear me? Can you hear me? Awesome. Okay, so we have talked about several things already in this summer recruiting sprint. We've talked about leading with the business. We've talked about turning product conversations into business conversations. We've talked about lifestyle prospecting. We've talked about events. We've talked about almost everything but this chicken list and who you are afraid to talk to, which is what your chicken list is. And we all have one. Now, Rochelle did mention that I like to reach out randomly to people that I'm actually really scared of. And that's when it comes to strangers, because there's really, like she said, nothing you have to lose. I don't have an emotional attachment to those people, and all they can say is no. And so I'm excited to talk and train on that tonight, because in this business, everybody has a chicken list. Everybody has people they're scared to reach out to. And I still have people that I personally know that, and I've been in this business 8 years, that I've been scared to reach out to as well. So I don't want you holding on to that chicken list. And we're also going to talk about recruiting up. And recruiting up in this business is very important. Recruiting professionals in this business is very important. People that are too busy, don't have the time, and don't need the money, as you may have already heard, are the best in this business. And there is a reason for that. People join this business for different reasons. People have different whys. And, we are always told not to prejudge in this business. And there's a reason for that, because you never know who is going to say yes. And so I like to keep that open, and I'll tell you a little story. My background, I do not have a degree, so I'm not a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or any of those have that professional degree, but I have several of those people on my team, and I've reached out to them. And our company gives us an even playing field. Someone that I might think, she's a nurse, she's got, she works 12-hour days, she's working shifts, she makes enough money, maybe she doesn't like those 12-hour shifts. She never gets to see her family. The same thing with doctors. I've heard that so much. The medical industry has changed. People that are, a lot of women that maybe their husbands have a lot of money. You don't think they need the money, and they're stay at home and they don't have to work, but maybe they want to. They want to be a part of something. That happens very often. So you never know what someone's need for this business is. It doesn't, like I said, it could be time freedom. It could be to get out more. It could be to be a part of something bigger than themselves. It could be for the money just because they have a nice car, a nice house. They may be in so much debt, they are one payment away from losing it all. And I've heard several stories like that also. We have so many these groups on Facebook where corporate has done events, or we've done these events, and we have different groups, such as a nurse or a medical field group with everybody or several top leaders in Rodan and Fields that are in the medical field. And those people, that's a great place to plug those chicken listers into that are in those fields, in those different groups. Maybe tag them under those videos. A lot of those groups are still up, and you can comment under the video and tag that prospect so they can see others in their field in this business. And then I have this group. Sorry, I thought I turned my notifications off. I guess I didn't. I've got people commenting in the group. So I also been reading this book called Recruiting Up. And I've been doing some training today and working with my teams. And I want to show you guys this book. Recruiting Up. It is by David M. Ward, and it is awesome. And I'm going to read some things out of here that really spoke to me, because this is like the mindset. This is something that helped me put this into perspective. So when we are talking about, recruiting up, this is a fun, fun scenario that they given as an example. If you're in a restaurant and let's say you recruit the bus boy, well, guess what? He can probably recruit the other bus boys, but he may can recruit some waiters or the cashiers, but he probably, but if you would recruited the owner of the restaurant instead, what difference would that make? The owner of the restaurant would be able to recruit the managers, cashiers, waiters, the bus boys, and they're the boss, and everyone looks up to them. So that stood out to me. The bus boy could also recruit these people, but that owner, odds are the owner could do it much more quickly and with less effort. So that says a lot. So let that sink in for a minute. And I want you to think about this scale of influence. This is something I also learned about. And this is a way that you can kind of gauge, your prospects and know what recruiting up really is. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest terms of influence, I want you to think of each of us as a 5 in our world of contact. So we're all 5s. People that look up to us are numbers 1 through 4s. Our peers are 5s, and everyone we look up to are numbers 6 through 10 on your prospecting list. So when you're looking at recruiting up, you want to recruit the numbers, your 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, which are people you look up to the most. People that have something you respect and admire about them. And the best way to do that is to reach out to them and tell them what that is that you respect and admire about them. What made you think of them? Of course, that's your warm market. Now think about this. Recruiting up the scale, recruit the sharpest, most successful, most influential people that you know. If you want your business to grow quickly, again, recruit those numbers. Most people in our business recruit the low-hanging fruit. And you've probably heard others in our company say that before. And it's not as difficult to get someone like your brother or a family member to sign up and do the business. However, it's going to be a little hard to get them to work the business. If you recruit up, on the other hand, and you teach your team to do the same and recruit your 6s and 7s, they'll recruit people who are 8s and 9s and 10s, and your organization will be filled with talented people. So that meant, that really stood out to me. And with me not being, all of a business professional when I started, I was a little hesitant. I felt like I had a disadvantage. Not only had I been in a bad car accident, my skin looked horrible. I had never ran a business. And that is why we have all of these tools, all of these professional tools that this company offers us, and all of the tools that we as leaders are offering you in this group to be able to reach out to these professionals and to recruit up. You have all the tools that you need. And when you think about it like this, you're going to see what I mean. We don't have a disadvantage in this business because we have the third-party validation. And the reason we may believe that we don't feel as adequate, maybe that person has a title or degree that we don't have, or maybe, I don't make as much money as they do, or we think that professionals won't take us or our business seriously. But none of this matters when you have the right posture of a successful professional. You may not have this posture as of yet, especially if you're brand new, but your upline and your leaders and your partners do. The videos that you're sharing are challenge number 1 with those videos. That is a great way to reach out to these professionals with one of those videos. They're very quick. They show our company as professional, and you've partnered with professionals, and that is what they are going to see. So you are borrowing one of your top leaders' posture to reach out to the professionals that you are scared to talk to. I love that. Love that. Okay? And in this business, you've got to remember, we are only the messenger. We're not the message, okay? We are only the messenger. We have all of these third-party tools. We have events. We have everything we need to show all of our prospects this information. And the people that are presenting it, like I said, have the posture that we need. When we get ourselves out of the way and use the tools that are given to us and do these challenges that are in this group, our track record is not that important. Our company's track record is what is important. And that's what they're looking at, not our personal track record. Someone could sign up today and show the video to your neighbor, to their neighbor, and be making and earn their likeness in a year. You know, it's as simple as that. It can totally happen. These professionals will see other people in our company earning this money as passive income, and they will get excited. How much you personally earn is not important. Okay, remember that. How much you personally earn right now is not important to your prospects. When they see there are others in this company of similar backgrounds as themselves, they will know it's possible.
Right.
Okay? So there's no reason for any of us to feel insecure or, you know, like we can't reach out because we feel inadequate. Another way to borrow someone else's posture is to mention others that we work with in their areas. And if, you know, a lot of times the Redefine blog is a great place for that. Most of you know about it, but the Redefine blog, that is a blog of success stories. Brittany Field's Redefine blog has success stories from every background. And the fact of that matter is, you know, your prospects don't know if that person's on your team or not. You say, you know, you go in that Redefine blog when you want to find, you know, when you're talking to your prospect and that prospect is an attorney or a nurse practitioner, you go in and you find stories. You can search for the stories and it'll bring up all the other stories of the person in that field, and you can simply share with that prospect, okay? You always want to have a collection of those. Again, the prospect doesn't know how this business works. They don't use this as a colleague of mine, this is a teammate of mine. You know, they do not know that person is not direct to you or on your team. You don't have to divulge that information. We have several people like themselves in our company that are successful. So confidence starts when you approach your prospects confidently, then that is usually all you need. It might be a challenge if you're just starting out, which again is why we use the third-party validation and the three-way calls, which is going to be a great training next week. So you're going to not want to miss that either. Then I want to go over and talk about this. One thing, let's talk about what these professionals want to see, okay, and make sure that you've got that covered. Before you reach out to these professionals, and you know, we use a lot of social media, of course, so I want you to take a look at your Facebook page, which, you know, or whatever social media that you're going to be reaching out to some of these people on. And, you know, on Facebook, I hate to say this, but when people are going to go there and they're going to look at you, okay? And whenever you reach out to somebody, I do it, whether it's somebody that contacts me about the business or whatever, I go to people's Facebook page and I check it out. So you want to make sure that you look professional, meaning you want to make sure that you've got your website. You want to let them know you're working this business. You want them to see whatever they see you doing, that's what they're going to think that they have to do. So you want everything to look professional. If you've got on your Facebook wall, before you reach out, make sure it's simple. It shows everything is simple. It shows your website. You've got some things promoted on your page. You don't want to look like a salesperson, because most people who join this business, that's the first thing they say is, I don't want to be a salesperson. And so when they go to your Facebook wall, if they see all sales pitch posts, sales, then that's what they're going to think that they have to do as well. So I want you to think about that. Also, if you're making your own flyers, this company gives us amazing tools. All of the Communications Corner, I mean, every week we're getting new marketing tools to use, and we really should be using those and definitely not making our own when we're recruiting these professionals. They see that it's simple. They have the same tools. We need to show them to them. These professionals are going to judge our business by the tools and events they see and the people that we introduce them to. If what they see or hear appears unprofessional, or ill-suited to their business, your prospects will be unlikely to sign up. And I can definitely see that. So even if you're brand new, even if you're a little scared, you can do this, okay? Prospect, just like I said, it says here again in this book, it tells me that again. Prospects judge your business based on what they see you do. This is also true for events. If your meeting or presentation takes a long time, they'll assume that they need to spend a lot of time with their prospects, or that they need to do very long meetings or very long calls. And this alone could cause a very busy professional to say no, okay? So I want you to think about that. When we tell you to keep these calls to 15 minutes, don't over talk it, don't keep sending information, don't even, back and forth on Facebook, get them on the call, quick, professional. That is why, okay? Because they are watching you and going, can I do this? Do I have time for this? Okay? If it's quick, it's simple, it's professional, it's easy, they're much more likely to give you their attention and to start really thinking about it. Because let me tell you some things that professionals like and want. They want immediate income. Contrary to popular belief, not all people with a degree earn a big income. Many are struggling. Like I mentioned before, many still have student loans, and like I said, a lot of people, even if you earn over $200,000 a year and you spend $201,000, guess what? You're still broke, just on a much higher level, okay? Everyone needs additional income. A prospect could also have unpaid taxes, credit card bills, or investment losses. Business owners have investment losses, okay? I've also heard of instances where there are some business owners that they have been told that they need a side business, okay? Some doctors that I know have been told that CPA, hey, you need a home-based business. You need a side business, okay? Make sure you are the one that reaches out. What else do professionals like and want? They want passive income and time freedom, okay? Professionals in this business, they get it. Professionals get the business model. You want to show those prospects how they can earn off the efforts of other people. Passive income and time freedom. Busy people are looking for that. They're also looking for residual income, okay? Residual income, once you get it and once you know about it, you don't want to be without it. And many professionals do know that. These are both, it says do not lump together your passive and residual income, because professionals want to know about both of these. Both of these are very important. A lot of people will join your business for the calls and for helping others, okay? This business is about helping others. I can feel empathy for other people in this business as far as the skin goes and how it feels to look in the mirror and not like what you see looking back. I can also relate to in this business about helping others to achieve an income or a lifestyle or do something they would have never been able to do otherwise. Okay, a lot of people will join for causes and helping other people, even if they're too busy, don't have the time, and don't need the money. Show your prospects the big picture, okay? The professionals want to see the big picture. And when you're talking to these professionals or reaching out to them, you want to make sure you cover some, they call it the specific hot buttons. And I'll just say, for instance, if you're talking to someone that is a retail, okay, for instance, you're talking to someone for our salesperson, you're going to be able to tell them that we don't have territories. If that's something, point out the differences in what they are already doing. Doctors, for instance, this is something I say when I'm speaking to a doctor, we don't stock inventory. That's very important to a doctor's office or to a med spa that has products, that has to stock products or buy inventory. So find out about their industry and relate it to our business. And point out those differences. That this is a virtual business. They don't have to, business owners, I know they spend a lot of money on a brick and mortar business. They have rent, they have overhead, they have light bills. Make sure you point out to those people that, this business, you don't have any of those things. This is all online. And some people will join your business just for fun, because it looks like a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun, and a lot of people's jobs are not fun. And we have social proof. The best things that we can do to get professionals to join us in this business is to show them other professionals who are successful in our company. And I've told you several ways to do that. And also getting them on the phone with your upline sponsor. And this also talks about warm market, reaching out to your warm market if you are not in that specific industry. And I know this is something that I was talking to Rochelle about. The best way really to reach out to those people is going to be the indirect approach. And I like this. Okay, this kind of takes the pressure off. I know a lot of people, a lot of newbies on my team, or a lot of people have told me, I just don't know what to say. I'm a little scared, and I still feel that way myself. And so an indirect approach really works with warm market. So ask if you've got somebody, reach out to that chicken list and ask them. And I want you to do this, okay? It's going to be simple, and everybody here can do it. If you've got the person on your chicken list, then that means you know them already, and they're probably your warm market. And those are sometimes the most scary. So simply ask them if they're willing to look at what you're doing and give you their opinion, advice, or referrals. Say something nice about them and their accomplishments, and tell them how much you would appreciate their help. They'll be flattered that you're asking for their opinion or help, and relieved that you're not asking them to buy anything. Okay, they're going to be excited. Oh yes, she just wants me to watch a video. Make sure they also know that what you're asking them to do won't take a lot of time. And that's what we do. When we send those quick, opportunity calls or opportunity videos, they're short. And that's what they are wanting to see. Prospects are usually more relaxed and open when you ask them to look at information to help you, and less open and more on guard when they think you're trying to sell something. So when you do the exposure, share stories about other professionals, especially those in the same field. And if there's somebody that's local or well-known and you're talking to that prospect, ask if they know them. Maybe you know so-and-so because they're also a doctor. Maybe you know so-and-so. That's always, a good relation. And always ask for referrals. And if you did something after the exposure, ask for feedback from these professionals and get some you can get them additional information and get them on the phone with your upline on that 3-way call. And if you initially ask for referrals and it appears that they're not interested in the business, make sure you go back and ask for referrals again and tell them how much you appreciate your help. And if you treated this prospect right, then they are going to remember you. And whether they join you then or not, they're going to send referrals and they're going to respect you. Okay? And in your cold market, a direct approach really works the best. And I'll tell you this is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning. In your warm market, you are able to use your relationship with that prospect to ask for a favor. And in the cold market, there is no relationship. It does not exist, okay? So it's difficult to do. So it's difficult for a stranger to do a favor because they don't know you. And you can't tell them that you're new, and as you can in the warm market. You want that cold market prospect, the person that doesn't know you, to simply see you as professional, successful business person worthy of their time and attention, okay? That cold market, that's how you want them to see you. Worthy of their time and attention, and a business professional. They don't know if you're brand new. They don't know if you're making $10 or $10,000, okay? They don't. As when you send them the professional information and they look at your page and they look at you and you approach them with that confidence and you send them that snippet, you are on the same playing field as a top earner in this company who is on their professional level, okay? Take the pressure off of yourself. This is what these tools are for and these challenges are for. Can you fake it till you make it? In many situations you can with cold market, at least long enough to get them to open up the video and watch it, okay? They don't know. So let's do that. Like I told you, the worst thing they can tell you is no, and that's really not very sad when you don't know them, okay? It's really exciting when they say yes. So there's plenty of groups on Facebook. There's a lot of professionals on LinkedIn. I would suggest looking at LinkedIn if you're not already on it. And also Instagram, I've heard is doing, a lot of people are doing really well with that. And I've been doing a little bit of research and training on it as well and how to utilize it. And in this business, it's very important to stay up to date. It's a social media business, a social business. And it's very important to stay up to date and be, kind of know whatever social media you're using, make sure you know how to utilize it correctly and that you are using it for prospecting, okay? There's groups, there's nurses groups on Facebook. There's, so many ways that you can find new people to reach out to. And everything that I've just told you and all the tools that we have, there should be nothing else holding you back. So with these busy people, and this is the last thing that I'm going to say, with these busy people, these professionals, what objection are you going to get? Ta-da! You're going to get, I don't have the time objection the most. Okay? I don't have time. Okay, so they may like everything you show them. They may be thinking, oh yes, I love this, but their biggest concerns are going to be not having the time to do it. Okay? And this business model is perfect for people who do not have a lot of time. Many people start this business because they don't have a lot of time. So when recruiting a lot of busy professionals and they're not sure they have time to do the business, you want to let them know they can be successful in just a few hours a week. Okay? And that is possible. And yes, they can. We want to point out that, eventually their couple hours a week turns into dozens of hundreds of other people that they bring in, adding their few hours a week, and that turns into a successful business. Okay? In other words, instead of trying to show them that they have to work more time than they think, or that they can find time to work the business if they wanted to, show them that they can be successful even if they do not have the time. Okay? That's the key. To show them that. You also want to ask them, how much time they think they could put into this. And when they see all the tools that we have to offer, because of our websites, the trainings, the conference calls, and all the systems available to them and everyone that they sign up in this business, and that we are going to help them, and the people that they sign up and work with them, they will understand. Sometimes you can ask the prospects if they could find 10 minutes, and I love this. Says, ask the prospect, can you find 10 minutes a day? Purposely choose a ridiculously small number, because if they say no, then they can't find 10 minutes. Okay, then there's really something else that isn't their objection and that we want to dig a little further. And if they say they can put in 10 minutes a day, great, welcome to the team. Because the truth is, if they get started with just 10 minutes a day, in 10 minutes, if they make 2 phone calls or invite people or listen to a recorded call, and they do that every day, even in 10 minutes a day, eventually they're going to be signing people up. Okay? So whatever time they have, you want to just let them know that they can be successful. Okay? And that, I don't want to go over much time. I can't see what time it is. It looks like 8:37. So I hope this has been very helpful. And if anybody has any questions, I don't know if we have that turned on or off. Rochelle, do you have anything you want to add, or does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to open it up to Q&A. There's a couple things I wanted to say. I love the borrowing the posture of your leaders, because doesn't that take away a lot of pressure? But you know what? That's really what the 3-way call is. And that's where people get so tripped up. So many people are afraid of that third-party validation. And the way you just said that, if you will, when you're training your new people, and even for yourself, if you're afraid of that third-party validation, it's borrowing the posture of those that have it. I mean, I come from a corporate America background. I wish in all my years in business that somebody would let me borrow their posture when I didn't have it in the beginning. I mean, oh my God. And also you were talking about a lot of these successful people that are on your chicken list. they're being told to get small-based home-based businesses. They are, especially this year with the new tax laws. Never before has a home-based business or small business been more important, especially some of these people with big circles of influence that come with some big pocketbooks. This is just to be what they're looking for.
I'm glad you mentioned that. When you said big pocketbooks, that's one objection you won't get when you're recruiting the professionals, is that they don't have the money, because most of them have the money. Okay, so that takes that part away.
Exactly. And here's another reason why you need to really reach out to your chicken list, is if you don't, someone else will.
Absolutely.
It is nothing worse than when you see that person that's been sitting on your list that you've been thinking about messaging or thinking about calling or thinking about reaching out to, joining somebody else's team. You will kick yourself. And you're looking for people, these successful people, they have circles of influence. And many of them, because they have such a circle, I remember Barbie Bassett really worked her business in 5 hours a week. She was the chief meteorologist in Jackson, Mississippi. She had such a circle of influence. She was able to be very, very she maximized what she was doing in that minimal time, but she had so many people. Isn't that what we're looking for? So that was amazing, Shauna. Thank you, thank you. She called me. She's like, what am I going to say about Chicken List? And I'm like, you were the queen of Chicken List. Oh, my God. I've watched this woman reach out to people that I'm like, you did not just do that. Going, man, I need that kind of boldness. So listen, if anybody has any questions, it could be about what Shauna just trained. It could be about anything that we've trained thus far. You've got your leaders here. Unmute yourself. We'll take a few minutes of Q&A. And remember, no question. The question you don't ask is, there's no stupid question. Ask.
Hey, Shauna, this is Jill in Minnesota. Thank you very much. So I have a quick question about how do you tease out their why in some of these people that are super successful? Because usually it's money, or it's wanting the time freedom, or it's wanting to be able to transition home. Some of those successful people, I remember seeing Kristen Young down at our Naples retreat and being like, tell me why you do it. Your house is huge. You don't need it. So how do you, once you get them on board and you talk about their why, what do you go for?
Well, it is basically what is important to them. When somebody is going to, for instance, if somebody tells you, that, oh, I'm just so I'm so busy. I work, 13 hours a day. I get home. I'm exhausted. Well, do you like it? Do you like that? You can just asking those questions. They were probably going to tell you no, that they'd rather spend more time with their family. Basically, it's just asking the questions to find out their why and what is their need. So it's fine. Their why is going to be their need for this business. If it isn't money, it may be the time freedom. It may be the friendships. It may be the helping others. But when you get them on the phone and you start talking to them and asking them those questions, then that's when you're really going to find that out. And Kristen is a great example. And everybody does ask her that. And, I have a direct partner that, she's been a successful businesswoman her entire life. Her husband passed away of cancer, and her kids had grown up, and she was kind of, she had plenty of money, but she was just kind of left not knowing what to do, and wanted to be a part of something. Not that she needed the money, not that she needed the time freedom, but she needed to find herself. She wanted to be a part of something bigger. She wanted her own business. She wanted to do something different. And so just talking to these people and learning more about them and asking them the questions, that's the way that you're going to find out.
Yeah, and I'm going to add to that, because a lot of times you're just going to have to dig a little deeper. And a big thing in Rodan and Fields, and we're seeing a lot of it, are women especially that don't need the money. They have spouses that, make a lot of money. They really don't need to work, but they got lost in the shuffle in there, and they're looking for something for themselves. And so when you are approaching, and when if you sign someone up that, and you're recruiting up, so to speak, and really recruiting that chicken list, then you might have to do a little onion peeling of really identifying what it really is that they're looking for. Because a lot of them, it's the sense of community. And that's becoming a really big thing in Rodan and Fields, that sense of community and that sense of belonging. So that was an excellent question, Jill. Anybody else? I'm going to take another question and then we'll wrap it up. Just unmute yourself. Okay, Maria, go ahead.
Shauna, I have a question. For anybody out there that has been recruiting up, when it comes to recruiting men and you're trying to approach them and, obviously there's that stigma, this is just a skincare line, even though we talk about the doctors and who they are you finding that, I know for me, I'm trying to get more educated in, the position of where our company is with TPG, and bringing in that aspect of it. Are you finding that that's really kind of like the place to really hone in on how big we are and where we're going? How much of that information do you give them?
It really depends on who I'm talking to. If you're talking to a male professional that understands what that means, then yes, that's going to get their attention. Personally, I've never heard of TPG before this, before they bought part of our company. I didn't know about it. Okay. Somebody that's going to know about that, know what that is, successful business people that know what that is. Yes, absolutely. But you tell someone that's never heard of it what it is, and they're not going to know. They're going to go do research, or you can explain it, but that's not going to be, that for a businessman, that's going to be one of the first things that you're going to say because they're going to know. So you want to take each industry that you're in. Men want to hear numbers. And when I'm really talking to men, when they say, oh, it's skincare, I like what one of our top male earners said, years ago. It's just like, I don't care if you're allergic to coffee, you hate coffee, you've never drank it in your life. If somebody offers you a Starbucks franchise for under $1,000, you are going to take it. Okay. Doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, does not matter. And so you really have to gauge your audience, who you're talking to. Relate to something they can understand. If they're that big business, big wig, then you're going to drop that TPG. But kind of get on their level. And that's where you really have to do a little research, and you have to, ask questions, and you have to talk to some of your partners also, or your upline, and, get a little insight on that and maybe some help with it.
I want to add to that. There is a great training in the Daily Experience. My husband just watched it, and he was just taking notes like crazy. Natalie Flower's husband explained from a male's perspective what that means. And he, because, he's now joined me in the business when we came back from France, my husband did. And he's really versing himself in how to talk to other men. And I just want to tell you this, Marina, men get Rodan and Fields 90% of the time faster than the women do. Yeah. They do. If 90% of the RFX Circle Achievers, if you really hear their stories, the majority of them, the husband got it before she did. It was like
it's another reason to lead with the business, because if that woman has to take it to her husband and it's about the products, he's going to say no. If it's the business opportunity and he gets it, he's going to say yes.
That's a very good point, Shauna. And any male men I'm talking to, I'm going to add them to there's that men's group that they just recently did. One of the things that I did and we did in our team page was all of the profession groups they've recently done, the military. We got every one of them and just put them on, and we put them in the file section on one post. That way,
I love that.
We have access. Actually, I have to thank Jennifer Harden for helping me with that, putting it all in one spot. So anytime our team needs to find it, boom. And I don't mind. We put it in. I have to talk to the other girls if we could put all of those, like maybe put them in the file section in the summer recruiting sprint, because it's powerful to have those.
Is that in Team Extreme?
There's another Level Up group.
Okay.
I can actually put it in Team Extreme, but yeah. Jennifer, just scroll. Jennifer put it in there. And okay. So But that was a good question. Okay, guys, we have been on, we're probably way over time, but you guys were asking good questions. I am going to go post a place for you guys to give your takeaways. I hope you guys learned a lot. I know I did. It was a fantastic training. Guys, let's engage. This is a phenomenal, I'm not sure what the name of the men's group is. I have to go and look and see it. I just know it is the men's group. It was a bunch of Freudian and Philson men, and they just recently did it while we were doing it. Somebody just asked that question. I'm
also going to post a challenge. So I'll be posting a challenge soon too. So make sure you check the group.
Because you have to reach out to your chicken list. Woo!
It will be Chicken List Challenge.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shauna.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Shauna.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Loved it.
Thank you.
Awesome
I'm so
training.
glad.
Lovely lady.
Night, ladies.
Bye.
night.
Shauna,
Thank y'all.
Shauna,
Thank you,
you
Shauna.
look beautiful.
Thank you.